I was looking over the latest owner data, and honestly, owners are running into thousands of dollars in denied RV warranty claims right now.
Most people assume a warranty means total protection, but according to the legal filings, it does not. Today, we are putting two of the biggest contracts, Good Sam's and America's RV warranty, under the Watchdog audit lens. But there's another issue. We also need to look at the dealerships selling these policies.
Look, let's start with Good Sam's. On paper, this looks solid. Good Sam uses what legally is classified as a mechanical breakdown insurance, or what we call in the industry an MBI. And to be honest, if the engine in your diesel pusher literally throws a rod from a factory defect, they're probably going to cut the check.
But what about the stuff that actually breaks every day? The slide outs, the leveling jacks. That's where the math shifts. According to the Good Sam's own contractual filings, specifically Section 3, Definition 12, they explicitly exclude the normal reduction in the operating performance of a covered part due to normal wear and tear.
That's a mouthful.
Here's the reality. An RV is essentially a rolling earthquake.
Yep.
Parts degrade from the friction. If an adjuster determines your component failed simply because it aged or it wore out rather than failing from a provable manufacturing defect, your claim is denied. Just like that.
Think about it. It's the ultimate out for them. Most people miss this entirely until the rig is already in the shop. But it gets worse. Let's look at American RV warranty. So ARW actually includes coverage for wear and tear in their exclusionary policy. Sounds like the solution, I guess. But we pulled the complaint data on the Head Start warranty group. They're the administrators handling the claims for ARW, and owner data shows a consistent pattern of difficult hurdles.
It's the average cost calculation. Let's say your mobile tech quotes you $1,800 to replace a complex leveling component. Head Start audits that against their internal database for national average cost. If their algorithm decides the average repair should only be $1,000, they authorize that base amount. You are legally responsible for paying the $800 difference out of your own pocket, plus your deductible.
So let's connect the dots here. To even get a claim looked at, compliant data shows they frequently require a teardown authorization. They want the shop to rip your slide out or engine apart first. If they deny the claim based on their findings,
you're stuck with a massive labor bill for an RV that's now sitting in pieces. Time for my reality check. I give these average costs VCS contracts a Watchdog buyer protection score of 3 out of 10.
Oof.
The math heavily favors the house. It's completely legal, but you need to know your wallet is exposed.
We can't talk about these contracts without talking about the environment where they are sold. Dealerships make massive margins on the back end of finance. And right now, regulatory bodies are stepping in.
Good. Very good.
Yes.
According to the court filings from the Oregon Attorney General, they recently secured a $3.5 million settlement against Camping World for deceptive pricing. The state found the dealer network was allegedly double charging consumers for freight and prep charges. If a massive corporate network is willing to allegedly double charge on the front end, you have to aggressively audit the $4,000 warranty they slide across the desk on the back end.
So, what's the move here? How do you protect yourself? You have to shift your reality of ownership. If you own a highly complex motorized unit, an MBI policy might be a mathematically sound hedge against total financial ruin.
But if you're pulling a towable, we recommend you self-insure. Take that $3,000 premium and put it into a high-yield savings account. Make no mistake, manufacturers sell RVs, dealers sell RVs, and the RV Watchdog protects the buyers. The private equity firms behind these networks have millions in marketing budgets to bury this kind of reporting.
We only have you, and if you want this truth to get out and force the industry to change, hit that hype button right now to force this video onto YouTube Explore Leadership Board.
Let's get this in front of the owners before they sign their lives away.
And if you want to see what else the industry is dealing with, watch the next video, Forensic Audit, Why RV Frames Are Failing, where we investigate the NHTSA probe PE 24029, which is actively covering 55,887 Grand Design units for excessive frame flex. I'll see you over there.
This has been an RV Watchdog Pattern Report.
And we'll see you on the road.